Hi, welcome back to Channel 6 TV, Community Focus here in Nelson County. I'm Kenny Fogel. Glad you could be with us. As we talked before, we've got a very signature festival coming up in the middle of September, and that's the Bourbon Festival. And one part of the Bourbon Festival that we haven't touched on yet is a part that you may not know a whole lot about, and that's why we got Dixie Hibbs here to talk about. Dixie, first of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And you're having a lunch during the Bourbon Festival that a lot of people may not know about.
Well, at Wickland, you all know that I talk about Wickland. I manage Wickland, open it to the public and all. And about 4 years ago, we were asked by the Bourbon Festival to create some type of an event, something a little different from what others were doing. And so we created a luncheon and lecture. I guess is the word. I hate lecture. It sounds like you got to take a test. A luncheon and a story.
There you go.
And we called it A Half a Pint of Whiskey History and a Shot of Humor. Now, I got the name from this book. I put this book together in 2001. It's a little booklet. It's not very big. It's bits and pieces about the history of bourbon making in Kentucky and in Nelson County. And that gave me the idea of talking about, everyone talks about the bourbons today, but you can't talk about the bourbons today without talking about the past, because that's where it all started back in the 1780s. So we have a wonderful lunch, home cooked. We have fried corn, we have pulled pork barbecue, we have macaroni salad, we have the slaw. We also have roll-ups that have chicken in it, that have a little bit of bourbon on the edge. We have sauces for all of these things, baked beans with a little bit of bourbon.
Is this 1780s style? Or?
Well, I'm not sure they ever had that much food in
maybe
the
not.
1780s. But what we've done, we have flavored a lot of the foods with bourbon because it is the Bourbon Festival. We are not serving bourbon in a glass to drink. We are more or less using it as flavoring for our food. But what we are supplying, or what we're offering the public, is the opportunity to come sit down in a nice, quiet place, historic building, kind of sit down, relax, and get out of the running that you do during Bourbon Festival. Our lunch and our story are $25. We have to have reservations because we buy the food and prepare it right there before. And it has been very successful. Most of the time we get people from out of town. We have reservations already from several people, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, South Carolina. But I wanted the community to know that this is open to the community. It's a great place if you want to entertain somebody, a business acquaintance or a family member. And this isn't, hasn't been sold out. Even the first year or two that we had like 60 people or something, we don't consider that sold out. As long as I have a chair and enough food, we'll set you down. But it is a way to bring, you don't have to go to one of the evening events that are sold out quite often.
Right.
But you can come to Wickland, enjoy the house, enjoy the history, talking about why do we make it in Kentucky, who's been making it, all those names you hear of the different labels. You've got James Pepper, you've got the Crow label, you've got all kinds of names we're not familiar with now. And I can tell you some about how it came about and what whiskey was selling for in 1912 and 1812. There's a lot of funny stories. We call that the shot of humor because in life there's a lot of funny stories, and some of them are repeated over and over, and pretty soon they're funny tales because they change a little bit. But we have a lot of fun. We do require reservations, and my phone number is out there everywhere, but it's 502-507-0808. And that is my cell phone. I carry it with me. You make your reservation. You show up on Thursday, the 17th of September, and we open up at 11:30, and we eat at 12, and I have never had anyone leave that was hungry. If you don't get enough to eat, I'll give your money back. And about 1 o'clock, I start telling you about the early settlers and why we make bourbon in Kentucky. And you all know, and I'm sure everybody talks about, we have more aging barrels of bourbon in Kentucky than we have people. Now that doesn't mean you can go put your name on a barrel, which would be kind of neat. Maybe the candidates for governor ought to run on that thing.
I think they should.
We'll give everybody their own barrel of bourbon. Yeah, that is illegal to do, of course. But
it's never stopped them before.
I can tell you about there was an occasion in Fredericksburg, which is in Washington County. We call it the Burg when we talk about it from here. And during an election there in the early 1900s, the newspaper reported that the bar owner in Fredericksburg, which is not too many bars in Fredericksburg, he was paid by one of the politicians to close his saloon during this time, mostly because he knew if people went in there and got to drinking and all, they might forget to vote. The other thing, of course, you hear stories about people being given whiskey to get votes. Well, that may be an old practice, but we don't do that anymore.
No, they don't make half pints that much anymore, I don't think.
I think what we do, we give them the whiskey months before.
Maybe that's what it is.
Give them a drink or so and kind of soften them up to listen to what the promises are going to be. As a politician, and you've been a politician,
off and on,
we have lots of things. We have to be careful what we promise, because whatever you promise, you got to bring forth. So I'm going to promise, if you're interested in coming, having lunch with us at Wickland, the 1826 mansion, bringing your friends, family, whatever, give me a call, 507-0808. I will put you down, reserve you a table, a nice comfortable seat, and I will tell you things you don't know. And you can go home and be a bourbon expert and quote all those things I'm telling you.
Now, is there any age limit on this?
No,
I mean, because,
no,
do you have to be 21 to?
We're not serving. No, we're not serving a drink.
Okay, it's just the flavor.
It's just the flavor.
Okay.
The flavoring in, and Heaven Hill is our sponsor. They actually give us a wonderful little gift bag to give out. And each year, I don't know what's going to be in it, but I know it's going to be worth more than $10. So you get $10 worth of gifts back before you even get started, hardly. And as long as I have these books, as long as they last, I give them out. On that part. But again, it's just a little bit different than some of the other events. I'm not an expert on bourbon, but I'm an expert in history. And so I can talk bourbon history with you as well as other local history like that. We all are getting ready for Bourbon Festival. You just got to make your plans. Don't wait too late. The tickets will run out, or the seating. But in our case at Wickland, I think I could serve up to 100 people. I would be very excited to have 100 people there. I'd get a lot of microphones is what I'd have to do. But there again, if you have the opportunity or are interested, just call me, put your name on the list, and we'll take care of you. And we'll kind of kick off our Bourbon Festival with a little Kentucky Southern home cooking.
And for anybody who doesn't know, Wickland is located right outside, well, it's in Bardstown city limits, right out on the Bloomfield Road, so it's easy to find.
Very easy to find. It's the only place in Bardstown, I think, that has a white plank fence and is owned by the county in the sense that everybody who lives in Nelson County owns this house. So we always like to open up the Nelson County home to everybody around to use it like that.
So September 17th, it's on a Thursday, 11:30, and the price is $25 a person, and it sounds like a great meal and a great stories, and right into Bourbon Festival line. So I think all of us need to learn a little bit more about bourbon. If we're going to live here, we might as well learn a little bit about it.
And you want to learn why, not only why we make it here, but the people who are involved in it. And today, I just came back from Bourbon County today. I went to Paris, Kentucky. You know, Bourbon County used to be dry. But I have to admit, we drove through a drive-through liquor store to get water today because we were so hot and it was the closest place. And when we drove up, the man looked at us and we said, "Could you sell 4 bottles of water to 4 ladies?" He went and got his water and sold to it, and I thought at the time, I bet he's thinking, "Lady, I didn't open this store to sell water."
Wasn't bourbon flavored, was it?
No, it wasn't bourbon flavored. But there again, they used to say there were 74 counties in Kentucky that were dry. Now it's not that anymore. But in the time they talked about Bourbon County was dry, but Christian County was wet. So that's the perversity of Kentuckians. You know, they all do their own thing. We've learned that.
Well, we got a lot more stories like that. We hope you'll show up 17th of September out at Wickland. So hope you can come on out. And Dixie, we do appreciate you coming in here and telling us about this. And hopefully we'll drum up a few people to come out and listen to you.
It'd be great.
All right, well, stick around. A lot more to come here on Community Focus. Kenny Fogle here. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time here on Central Kentucky TV. Take care.